The debutant for the Italia Thunder tonight. We've already seen Andrew Selby, the number one ranked AIBA Open boxer in the world. This man's not too shabby either. Robson CONCEICAO, AIBA ranked number 2 in the latest set of rankings for AIBA Open boxing from the start of this month. The reigning world silver medalist from Almaty, Kazakhstan, in the lightweight division. Highly decorated boxer from AIBA Open boxing. Pan Am Games silver medalist from 2011. Pan American Championships gold medalist from earlier this year. Robson CONCEICAO from Brazil, just awaiting the opening bell to make his debut for the Italia Thunder. And the man who is sprinting up from the bowels of the Mar del Plata just outside Buenos Aires is Brian Ivan NUÑEZ. Another man making his World Series boxing debut, just 20 years of age. But he too faces a significant challenge going up against the man in the other corner. It's a World Series boxing debut for Robson CONCEICAO, but with the AIBA Open boxing credentials that he possesses, he most certainly knows his way around a boxing ring. And there you see the boxer profile for CONCEICAO, the Brazilian representing the Italia Thunder, completely blank, as this not only his debut for the Italia Thunder, but his debut in World Series boxing. The exciting team tournament that puts together the best boxers from around the world. And again, it's Damiani and Lee Pullen operating the corner duties. I wonder whether any of those guys speak Portuguese. Lee Pullen, an Englishman, Damiani, of course, Italian, but boxing very much a universal language. So one suspects they'll get their message across without too much difficulty. Brian Ivan NUÑEZ, he too about to make his World Series boxing debut. Just 20 years of age. Here's the Argentinian head coach, Julio Garcia. Such a familiar figure on the fight scene in this part of the world. Actually from Uruguay, but has been living in Argentina for 37 years, 36 of those as a professional boxing coach.
Brian Ivan NUÑEZ. Por Italia Thunder, Robson CONCEICAO. Árbitro Armando Carbonell. Jurados Daniel McFarland, Clemente Carrillo, Tony Sherman, Jay Robert Lane y Jones Kennedy.
No, here, no vamos a meter cabeza, no vamos a dar golpes bajos, no vamos a abrazar, no vamos a agarrar. Ok, me escuchan. Buena suerte, que ganen mejor.
You see the physical advantage in terms of height that CONCEICAO enjoys over NUñEZ. 5'9" of CONCEICAO taking on the 5'7" stature of NUñEZ. Both boxers just jittering on the spot in anticipation of the opening bell.
Segundos afuera, primer round.
So the opening bell sounds in the 60-kilogram lightweight division between the boxer wearing blue, operating out of the orthodox stance, representing the Argentina Condors. That is Brian Ivan NUñEZ, making his World Series boxing debut tonight, taking on another boxer who is also making his first appearance in this team competition, and that's the man with his back to the ropes in the yellow trunks, Robson CONCEICAO. And this perhaps something of a rude awakening for CONCEICAO, because NUñEZ is a real handful, an aggressive come-forward fighter. And you see CONCEICAO turning his head away at close quarters, just in an effort to prevent them clashing and perhaps bringing about the spectre of cuts in the early proceedings. Now in AIBA open boxing, where it's 3-3-minute rounds duration, CONCEICAO is known for his work rate. He really does operate like a wind-up toy over the shorter duration. He got through with a good right hand that followed a left jab. And there was one performance in particular during the course of the recent World Championships in Almaty, Kazakhstan, where he put Vikash Malik under considerable pressure from opening bell to last. Without being disrespectful, he used the boxer competing under the AIBA flag from the Indian Federation pretty much like a heavy bag. Every punch in the book was demonstrated, and the pace that he set really did have to be seen to be believed. Just a little more measured here over the longer duration in what is his first time, so it will be a brand new experience for CONCEICAO, attempting to go the 5 3-minute rounds. He's far more measured than we have seen him during AIBA open boxing. NUñEZ with that wide-legged stance, left hook wasn't too far away, and again the heads just coming together at close quarters. Remember, the Argentina side one bout down after the flyweight encounter between Andrew Selby and Cristian Eduardo Roda, so they'll be looking to get back to parity if possible.
Veo con la cabeza. Ahí no hay pelea, ahí no hay pelea.
Both boxers peering between high-held guards as CONCEICAO tries a speculative right uppercut. And just look how high the trunks of NUñEZ have ridden up his torso, almost touching his shoulder blades. I'm sure the referee will use his discretion to determine what's a low blow and what isn't. There's a good left jab got through in that exchange from CONCEICAO. That was a familiar trick of marvelous Marvin Hagler, where the cup and the trunks would ride way up to around his lats, giving extra protection around the abdominals and solar plexus. NUñEZ pumps his fist in celebration after a busy opening round, where he showed no fear of the reputation of the man wearing the yellow trunks of the Italia Thunder. Here is some of the action. Slapping right hand got through to win that exchange from CONCEICAO. Good left hand in that cluster of punches as well. And that perhaps a fair reflection of the round. Two judges seeing it in favor of CONCEICAO. One of the scoring judges favoring the home fighter. So no unanimity in the scoring of that particular round. As the bell sounds to begin round number 2. Immediately though, CONCEICAO sent to a neutral corner as too much petroleum jelly has been applied to the face of NUñEZ. Not enough was removed, so it's another trip up the steps for the corner man. Now the referee's happy and signals time in. So round 2 gets underway. CONCEICAO targeting the body to begin this second round. If you're wondering how in World Series boxing the Italian team can be represented by a Welshman and a Brazilian, well, that is permitted in an effort, of course, to get the best boxers on show here during this high-quality team competition. Good left hook and the right hand that followed up was a good shot as well from CONCEICAO. But 2 of your 5 boxers on any given match night are permitted to be from countries other than the national federation that's being represented. And the referee just having his hands full here as the boxers continue to exchange punches and perhaps disregard his instructions just a little bit. It's an untidy tangle at close quarters with a minute gone in this second round. Again, the scrappy nature of this bout continues. Plenty of arms entwining and holding and mauling on the inside. Not much quality work being exhibited by either boxer to this point in round number 2. Now it's at distance once more. CONCEICAO looking perhaps more organized when he puts his punches together than NUñEZ. Plenty of intention from NUñEZ, but perhaps not the quality to augment his offensive assaults. Saw both boxers operating behind a high-held guard during the opening round. Now look at the contrast being exhibited from CONCEICAO as his hands down by his belt line. And as the referee called break, NUñEZ charged forward immediately, and there you see the referee gesticulating that it must be a clean break. You must listen to the instructions. So approaching the final half minute of this second round. First round was scored 2-1 in favor of CONCEICAO. One judge scoring in favor of NUñEZ. And this second round has been a similar affair of lots of holding at close quarters and tangling on the inside, punctuated by bursts of action that haven't been particularly tidy or effective from either boxer. CONCEICAO continuing to turn his head away when the fighters are in close. And there's the bell. CONCEICAO thinks that he's done enough to take it. But again, it was a rather scrappy affair in that second session. That was a good left hand that got through. Double it up as well did CONCEICAO during that exchange. CONCEICAO taking that second round in unanimous fashion. All three of the judges scoring in favor of the Brazilian, making his World Series boxing debut for the Italia Thunder here tonight. So into round 3 we go. CONCEICAO has taken the opening round by a score of 2-1 on the judges' scorecards. He took the second round in unanimous fashion. And again, NUñEZ continuing to disregard the instructions of the referee and work away. Good left hook was the final shot of that exchange from CONCEICAO. But once more, mauling and grappling taking place at close quarters. NUñEZ tying his man up as he claimed him around the waist. Now CONCEICAO operating behind the high-held guard once more and warned for rabbit punching behind the back of the head. The last year lightweight in World Series boxing was 61 kilograms, but with the welcome change, the welcome addition of all 10 weight classes, it now follows the AIBA Open boxing weight class of 60 kilograms. Last year, or in previous seasons, with just 5 weight classes during World Series boxing, often boxers had to make a difficult choice. Do they go up to a weight class or come down? Welterweight Fred Evans, for example, 69 kilogram boxer in AIBA Open boxing, was competing up at middleweight during World Series boxing competition. If he was involved this year, he wouldn't have to make that choice. 69 kilograms, part of the weight class in C2, and that's what we're contesting here tonight. So CONCEICAO operating out of a wide-legged stance, snaked a good left hand to the body of NUñEZ. And NUñEZ really hasn't found much clean punching of his own. Crowding his own work, perhaps spoiling his own work, as he just pulled down to the canvas and then receives a telling off from the referee that he should be the one standing up. Skipping back to his work, CONCEICAO, after landing an effective right hand. And a good right hand once more from CONCEICAO. So NUñEZ really hasn't found a way to penetrate the guard of CONCEICAO effectively and consistently. He's been very busy, but really hasn't found a way through to get through with any offense of his own. Good left hand from CONCEICAO in that three-punch combination. CONCEICAO boxing in altogether more measured fashion than we're used to seeing him. 10-second clap has sounded here in round number 3. NUñEZ has had plenty of hustle and bustle, but very little effectiveness behind that aggression in that third round. It was a good left hook from the Brazilian. Punching in correctly on that previous part of action, but again, CONCEICAO doing enough to take the third round in unanimous fashion. So NUñEZ took a share of the first for one judge, but other than that, it has been all Robson CONCEICAO.
Queda descubierto, izquierda, izquierda, cruzá la derecha por arriba. No te cimes, tirá del lugar.
Segundo afuera. Saco fuera.
Tirá del lugar. Vamos,
So into the fourth round we go then. Robson CONCEICAO, wearing yellow, representing the Italia Thunder, has appeared pretty comfortable to this point in the contest against his fellow World Series boxing debutant Brian Ivan NUñEZ of the Argentina Condors.
No!
Really rugged individual is NUñEZ, as CONCEICAO goes down and drives a hard left hand into the body, repeats that shot again before bringing a right hand around the rib cage. But NUñEZ just appears to be a little bit inexperienced at boxing at close quarters, and when the two fighters are toe-to-toe or chest-to-chest, well, that's the result that ensues. An untidy tangle, bit of grappling before the referee has to intervene, signal break. And for the most part of this contest, it has been tangling on the inside in the fashion that we just saw, punctuated by brief bursts of action where invariably the cleaner work, the more quality work, has come from Robson CONCEICAO. Approaching the halfway stage of round number 4. And Robson CONCEICAO, one of the 29 World Championship medalists from Almaty, Kazakhstan just a few weeks ago, will be competing in World Series boxing competition. That right hand caused NUñEZ to lose his balance. His boxing stance back beneath him now. But he got cuffed with another right hand as he charged in once again. Good right uppercut from CONCEICAO. We're talking about the medalists that are on hand from Almaty 2013. The Italia Thunder have secured a good number of them of making their debut. We've already seen Andrew Selby as CONCEICAO got through with a terrific left hand. Right hand over the top got around the back of NUñEZ's left glove to score effectively. Also secured the services of Paddy Barnes of the Dolce & Gabbana Italia Thunder. That's down at 49 kilogram light flyweight. That's the C1 category, not being contested here tonight. But in the return leg, when Argentina traveled to Milan to take on the Italia Thunder, it is C1. That category will be contested, and so one anticipates the appearance of Paddy Barnes in that return leg. Of course, they've got Clemente Russo, got himself more championship hardware from Almaty 2013 as well. So it's a really experienced Italia Thunder team who will be contesting Group A in their effort to make the playoffs once more. Other than that, Group A perhaps wide open. The Italia Thunder, perhaps the standout team, the Argentina Condors, looking to sneak their way into the playoffs, where, to repeat and emulate the achievement that they did in Season 3, their first season in World Series boxing competition. But one suspects they really have to make their home territory a fortress. But having already conceded the opening bout in the 52-kilogram flyweight division, one suspects, unless Nuñez can produce a punch to bring about a finish, one suspects they're on their way to conceding this bout as well. So round 4, taken in unanimous fashion for CONCEICAO, and he's got a commanding lead now with just one round of boxing to go.
Último round. Último round.
So the bell sounds to begin round number 5 in this 60-kilogram lightweight bout. Robson CONCEICAO making his World Series boxing debut, the world silver medalist from Almaty, Kazakhstan 2013 World Championships just a few weeks ago, taking on Brian Ivan Nuñez, also making his World Series boxing debut, just 20 years of age, and the experience of CONCEICAO and his superior ability has really become more apparent as the contest has progressed. Nuñez has had plenty of aggression and intent, but there hasn't been much craft. Without being unkind, there hasn't been too much craft behind his aggressive burst forward. CONCEICAO has controlled things relatively comfortably. It's been untidy at close quarters when the two boxers have come together. CONCEICAO has found himself pinned over the ropes for a few uncomfortable instances, but it's been in precious little danger. But now that is the most effective burst foot punches that Nuñez has put together. CONCEICAO finding himself square on, his back to the ropes, and Nuñez took advantage to score effectively with both lefts and rights, particularly to the body. Nuñez will be aware of the state of the bout, and that if he hopes to get a win for his team, who are trailing 1-0 after the conclusion of the flyweight contest, then he's going to have to bring about a sudden finish to this contest. It's CONCEICAO just appearing to disregard the punches that are coming from Nuñez. Hands down by his belt line, wide-legged, flat-footed stance, now covering up. But aggression is a commodity that is favored during World Series boxing. So even the fact that Nuñez's shots were being repelled, come forward aggression will be favored by the judges who are scoring ringside. Remember, it's a 10-point must system in operation. 5 judges scoring, 3 of them will be selected before the bout without their knowledge, and those are the scores that will determine the outcome, of the contest. Approaching the final 30 seconds of this lightweight bout as Nuñez got through with another good right hand. So again, he's remained committed to his cause, but CONCEICAO evading those punches effectively. Just using his legs to get out of harm's way. But just like Cristiano Eduardo Roda, plenty of spirit being demonstrated by Brian Ivan Nuñez. And that's something on which they can build, because he will have gained valuable experience sharing the ring with the #2 AIBA lightweight in the world. But there can be little doubt about the winner of that contest at 60 kilograms. Robson CONCEICAO appears to have given the Italia Thunder a 2-0 lead on the road just outside Buenos Aires in this WSB Group A match against the Argentina Condors. So Nuñez, as you can see how high that protective cup has ridden up around his torso. He acknowledges a crowd on hand here at the Mar del Plata. Really want to expect when we hear the official announcement, it'll be Robson
Fallo de
CONCEICAO
combate, unánime.
will have his hands raised.
Jurado número 1, 45-50. El número 2 marca 46-49. El tercero marca 46-49. Fallo unánime, ganador por puntos, Robson CONCEICAO.
So Robson CONCEICAO, there's a little leap of celebration. Didn't take the fifth and final round in unanimous fashion, but on the scorecards is a unanimous points victory for Robson CONCEICAO. And he gives the Italia Thunder a 2-0 lead after 2 completed bouts against the Argentina Condors here in World Series Boxing Group A action. So 46-49 twice, 50-45 for Judge A. A unanimous points win for the Brazil.